Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is Adi Achint. In my endeavor to understand the various sectors of battle between the Indian Armed Forces and the People's Liberation Armed Forces of China, I have made a few videos before understanding the geography and the topography of the Indian side and the regions which are so-called disputed by China. If you haven't seen them till now, I'd recommend after you watch this video, please do go and check them out as they give a very clear picture of the areas in concern. Now, the Indian Air Force, which mind you was not used by India in the 1962 war, is coming out to be one of the most decisive factors of deterrence on the part of India. I'd like to show you in this video what the Indian Air Force is up against in terms of infrastructural capabilities of China in close proximity of our country. So let's check them out. Coming to the images of Google Earth, you can now see the string of runways which are along and close by to the international border between India and China. The first one I'd like to show you is Kashgar, which is one of the westernmost cities in China in the Uyghur Autonomous Region of Xinjiang. At an altitude of about 4,500 feet, it is the same category as Hotan, which is something that we will discuss next. With regards to the PLAAF operations, which is the People's Liberation Army Air Force, it is at about a distance of 480 kilometers from the Indian airfield of Daulat Beg Oldi and about 670 odd kilometers from the area of Pangong So. This, as many others, is also a dual-use civilian and military airport. I'd like to just zoom in for a minute and show you the presence of the aircraft over there. I would be also doing another video with regards to the various aircraft that the Indian Air Force is faced off with currently being used by the Chinese Air Force. So in my next video that will be covered, do check it out. The second area, as I said earlier, is an airfield called Hotan. Hotan Air Base is again in Xinjiang at an elevation of 4,672 feet, probably one of the only runways in this region that can be used by the Chinese heavy lift aircraft. If I just zoom in, I'll be able to show you some of them standing here. These are the Xi'an Y-20s. We will discuss them in my next video. The Chinese are about a distance of 250 kilometers from Daulat Beg Oldi and about 380 kilometers from Pangong So from this airbase. The airfield that we will go to is the Tumxuk Airport. Although being a civilian airport, this is at a proximity of about 500 kilometers from the Daulat Beg Oldi. This airport forms into a triangle between Kashgar and Hotan and could be used as a staging area for activities happening in both the other airfields. The next one I'd like to take you to is Gari Khunsa. This is located in the Tibetan Autonomous Region and is a dual-use military as well as a civilian airport. Situated at an altitude of about 14,000 feet, it is the fourth highest airport in the world and was developed and used by the military after the standoff in Doklam in 2017. This airport, although looks empty, but it is fitted to operate the J-16s and the J-11 fighters. At a distance of about 200 kilometers from the biggest flashpoint between India and China of Pangong So. It is also close by to the Demchok Chumar sector, which is south of the Pangong So area. Very close to this, it also has an attack helicopter base at Gargunza. Here are the helicopters that I'm talking about. At an altitude of about 12,000 feet, it is something that can be used in support of their ground troops as well as on attack roles in times when conflict may just break out. One very interesting thing about this airfield is that it can be used in emergencies and also has an airstrip which can support the People's Liberation Army Air Force. Moving on towards the east, there are a couple of airfields that I'd like to show you right there as well. The first one being in Lhasa, also known as Shannon or Gongar. At an altitude of about 13,800 feet, It is about 210 kilometers from the international border between India and China. If I just zoom in, you'll be able to see the Chinese version of the Sukhoi aircraft being operated from here. The next airbase I'd like to show you is the airbase of Shigatse. Now Shigatse, ironically, is known as the airport of peace. I can't believe it. But anyways, it is a double-use military and civilian airport at an altitude of about 12,400 feet, pretty much equidistant between Tawang and the Sikkim sectors of operations. About 260 kilometers from the Doklam Sikkim area and about 280 kilometers from Tawang. It is also located in the Tibetan Autonomous Region, which China forcefully took in 1959. Let's just zoom in and see their presence right there. Moving a little bit east from this place, the next airport or the airbase I'd like to show you is the Niginchi Manling Airbase, located in the valley of the Sangpo River. I'll just show you now, right there. It is considered to be one of the toughest instrument approaches in the world, and the chances of this being used for military operations are slim, but the proximity to the international border in Arunachal Pradesh is about 20 kilometers, which is quite intriguing. Moving on, we're going to see the Kwamdo Banda airfield at an altitude of about 14,000 feet. This has one of the longest runways in the region of 4,500 meters. I'm sure you can figure this out. It's taking a little bit of time to set into the screen. This is due to it being located in a super high altitude area. Again, a dual-use military and civilian airbase with a small capacity although, but at a distance of 130 kilometers from the international border, which to me is pretty interesting. There is another airbase close by to this sector, which is the Kyonglai. This is located at the west of the city of Chengdu. This is a critical airbase for the Chinese Western Theater Command, and by the looks of it, seems to be their transport base for this general area. This airbase can be used to strengthen the troops of the eastern sector. I'm sure you can see the long line of transport aircraft stuck all around here. The last airfield I'd like to show you in this region is the much famed name of Sangrila. At about 260 kilometers from the Walong sector of operations, where in 1962 a very deadly battle was fought, which is pretty much the easternmost part of India, is a civilian airport, but nonetheless can be used for operations as and when required. There are many more advanced landing grounds that the Chinese have developed post the standoff in Doklam, but discussing each one of them would take some more time. I wanted to show you the basic airfields that the Indian Army and the Armed Forces and the Air Force is keeping an eye on today to understand the Chinese air activity in the region. So this is a zoomed out picture where I'm just going to show you the geographical locations of the air bases that we discussed. Kashgar right here, international border, Hotan again, and the Tumzuk, which I was saying forms a triangle between these two areas. Going to the Nagri Gunza, which is very close by to the Pangong Tso, and the Gagunza Air Base, which is also very close by, which remember is a helicopter base. The Shingatse is something that we had seen, which is equidistant from the Tawang and the Sikkim sector, and of course the Shannon or the Lhasa, which is a big airbase for the Chinese. This being the Niginchi, if you see the distance between this and the international border right here. Then the Kwamdo Bamda, the Kwanglai transport base, which we saw with big transport aircraft standing there. And lastly, the Shangri-La airport. After having looked at all these air bases, one begs the question, is not the Chinaman aware of what faces him? What machines, and most importantly, what are the men that face him? Well, it really wonders me if he really thinks that the India today is of the India in 1962. It is imperative that the Chinaman backs away from this situation. or the brave soldiers of the Indian Armed Forces who are ready, and may I take the liberty to say, waiting for him to even try, will enforce a cost that the Chinese would never forget. Having said that, I'd like to once again request one and all, as I say in all my videos, to share a thought for our soldiers standing at the battle lines of this very precarious situation between the two countries, once a day, every day. Jai Hind.